Okay guys, so this is your Slayer TV 30 back here again. Sorry about my hand being over there. But I bought a lot of fishing gear, so I'm going to show you what's in my tackle box. Or my tackle bag. So what I did is I went to the resale shop, just picked up a regular North Face backpack for like $5. So that's what I carry all my fishing tackle in here. And this is my bass and catfishing gear. So let's start off with the most important piece of gear, and that is my bait caster. It's an Ozark Trail Gen 2 bait caster, rod and reel. And so I'm going to go over what I use for baits and why I use them. The line I have on here is, I think, either 10 or 15 pound spider wire braid. I've been using it all season. I've caught bass off of it. I've caught catfish off of it. Like some decent sized fish, actually. But what I keep in my tackle box here, I'm going to show you guys. So we're starting off with my bass one. So I lost my spinner bait, but I did have a Bass Pro spinner bait in here, a bigger one than this one right here. This is one I found last time I was at the lake, and I used it. I just threw a little crappie slider on there. That's why I've got crappie sliders. So when I lose the skirts, you can actually make a pretty decent bait with them for bass. Then also my bass tackle box, I've got some panfish hooks for when I go crappie or bluegill fishing. And here I've got my oldest lure that I have still to this date, which I've got a couple of these crawfish size hard baits. So this is my oldest. I think this is, this is a Rebel crawfish that I have. Here's one that I picked up at Walmart last time I was at Walmart here. And this is just a little Rebel crawl. And then I've got a micro rattle trap. Also in here, I keep about a 3 to 5 foot diving crankbait. I keep a popper in here. So that's all my hard baits, guys, that I keep in here. And then I've got, I think, 3 different colors of these crappie sliders. So I've got the pearl and black. I've got the dark, like black with red flake and chartreuse tail. And then I've got these blue and silver shad ones with a bunch of different color flake in it. So these are the 3 smaller panfish lures I keep in my tackle box. I need to get more jig heads for them. And then I've got 2 types of curly tail grubs. So I've got the big, like 9-inch ones. And if you can tell, the 2 different sizes. So I've got some Magnum curly tail worms. And then I've got some regular, like culprit style worms. These are 2 of my favorite worms. This one's from Bass Pro. It's just the green pumpkin with the white pearl underbelly. And then I keep these like red and black worms in my tackle box. These are the 2 that work in my ponds that I fish around here. And all the hard baits are based off of what I've caught fish in the past around here. Then of course I keep bobbers for bluegill. The weights I use, I buy those big, I buy the big packs of weights, guys, like the multi-packs. So I've got every size in here that I need for bass fishing. And then I keep these big size, like 2 or 3s. I either get 2/0 or 3/0 bass hooks, guys. That's just the size I like to run. A lot of people like to run some 5, some 6/0 size hooks. But that's pretty much my little pond hopping kit right there. This is what I put it in. This is just an old, you know, those Eagle Claw catfishing kits you can buy at Walmart. That's what this was. This is my first tackle box I've bought in a while. Then the second one I got from Walmart this year was the Ozark Trail boxes. I think they were like $9. And then my catfishing box, I've got little circles, I've got big circles in here. So these are my big circles. These are my small circles. And then I thought in here, did I run out of them? I must have. But there's those two. I must have. Oh no, there's the hooks. My last hook. Also in here, I keep these little, like, O-hooks, ones on my pole. And what these are for my bass Senkos. I've got 2 bass tackle boxes technically, but I do keep some of my bass fishing gear in this box because that one's extra full. Also in here, I've got some of the Bass Pro XPS rubber crawfish. These are, I think, the Bass Pro brand blue and black Senkos. Also in here, I've got some Bass Pro little minnows. I didn't even use these last time I went out fishing. I wanted to, but I've got 5 of these. These are another good thing I like to keep in my tackle box. So that's it for bass gear. But going back to my catfishing gear, like I said, I've got big, small circle hooks. I've got these J hooks. And then I've got treble hooks for catfishing. I've got weights. I've got my still leader for gar when I go to the river, go gar fishing, which I haven't gone yet this year. It's just been too rainy. I've got swivels I can tie to my braid and put my still leader on a swivel. That way, when the gar bite down, they bite down on metal, not on my line. Then I've got different types of these type of egg seekers. I've got these big bullet weights for catfishing. I've got big egg sinkers. I've got little egg, like drop shot weights. I've got smaller little egg sinkers for ponds. And then this I don't really want to open because it stinks, but I'm going to have to show you guys. I get this magic bait, shrimp and chicken blood. I try to change this up every time I buy new, because, yeah, but this stuff stinks to high heaven. Really shouldn't even be in my tackle box, but that's why I put it in a baggie, and I'm not going to put this back in my tackle box. But I need to get a few more different types of that from when I go catfishing. But that's what I keep in my tackle box there. And then when I do buy worms, this is what I buy. I buy the 24 baby crawlers from Walmart. It's a better deal. You get plenty of worms for your money, especially with worms being so expensive nowadays, guys. The other thing I carry on me while I'm fishing for catfish and bass is a wire live well that I can tie off to docks. Or if I have to push a stringer in the ground, I usually have a stringer in my bag. Right now I don't have one. The other thing I usually carry is some type of knife, like this, a folder knife to cut chicken liver with. Catfish love chicken liver. That's just what I found out about farm ponds. God damn. But yeah, that's what I carry in my one tackle bag. I'll go over my fly vest and my trout fishing gear later, because I have to fix my rod today. I have to find some thread and tie it off, and it's just going to be a nightmare because the tip broke off of it when I was at my parents' last time. I went to cast, the rod snapped, and it's an ultralight, so I have to find thread and redo it.